Welcome to the Building Design Primetime Podcast, focused on providing valuable information for anyone looking to undertake a new build or extension project. We'll share our tips, tricks and stories from a building designer's perspective.
Welcome to the Building Design Primetime Podcast. I'm your host, Amelia, and once again we're joined by Frank.
Hey Amelia, another beautiful day in paradise.
It is, it's a spring day, it's nice and sunny outside.
It is magnificent and a bit white this morning.
Yes.
It was a bit white. And I'm sorry I sound all nasally still. I've still got this head cold, it won't go.
Oh, it's been lingering.
Yeah, but it sounds like everyone's been crook this season. Getting something somewhere, somehow. It's been a tough season.
It has.
So what are we talking about today?
Oh, look, we've had some inquiries come in from customers specifically about budget. And
In what way?
Well, I mean, it's one of the questions we have on our, inquiry forms on our website. And not everyone likes to disclose their budget. And I can understand that. They feel it's a very personal thing.
Yep.
But there is a reason why some designers or architects ask for that.
Oh, some very good reasons.
Yes. And I thought that's something we could kind of delve into a little bit, maybe answer some of the questions that have come up in relation to that customers have asked about.
Certainly.
And I think we start there.
Okay. Shall I just say why we asked for it?
Yeah, I think that's a good place to start.
We asked for it so we understand with your ideas and what you want to achieve, because we ask customers to fill out a wish list. So put everything they wish to have and then on one side, and then everything they need, everything they can't do without. That's the fundamentals. And that gives us a good idea of where they're heading. And then from there, we can understand the project better. And then someone telling us, well, we've got X amount of dollars we wish to spend. And it's not having a go at anyone or trying to just some type of client. We only do high end, low end. Well, look, we take on all customers and I don't care. The sole purpose of our role for customers is to achieve whatever project they wish to build or renovate or change or whatever the job is. Budget helps us understand how much money they've actually got or they want to spend and can they actually achieve it. And we're not experts in figuring out what things cost, but we've got a little bit of an idea.
Yes.
But by not telling us, that makes it hard too, because we've had people ring us, I want to do an extension of the house, I want to do this, this and this, and they tell us a figure and we say, look, I'm sorry, but we've been told by builders and others like something like this will be X amount of dollars per square metre, which means your project would be X, but that doesn't match your Y. You're about halfway there from what we get feedback from builders, because we listen to lots of builders on how much things cost. And it's not trying to be mean, it's trying to be real, be truthful.
We want these projects to go ahead at the end of the day, don't we?
Whether someone wants to, build, just a one-bedroom extension because they've got an extended family or whatever it may be happening, and they might only have, $30,000, but in reality it might be $50,000. I want to be truthful. I don't want to draw it, get paid for it, and they can't build it. It doesn't interest me.
No.
There's no fun in that. There's no joy, that's for sure. And I get paid for something that can't be done. No, it doesn't sit right with me.
No, I can understand that.
Because that's just part of the assistance. Now, on the flip side, we know we've got people that say, none of your business how deep my pocket is, And okay, fair enough.
Yes.
I want this house. I want it this size. These are the challenges. This is my wants. Okay. Me and the team, we're happy to go ahead and design something for you. Or you may have come, this is what I want. Here's my sketch. This is where I want my car to come in. This is my view. I want an al fresco. Fine, we'll do it. But then we don't take responsibility for it either.
No.
Of the budget.
That's right. When it comes to costings for the build, that's something that the client can
sort out themselves.
Yeah,
look, at the end of the day, it is a lot of their responsibility.
That's right.
Because, and fair enough, if you don't know, you don't know. That's cool. we're happy to hear, to give advice or talk to people or ring up some builders, say, what do you reckon about dollars per square metre? I'll send them an email, this is what we're thinking. Oh, they'll say, look, I reckon it could be this. Mm-hmm. It's very hard to judge.
And keep in mind, over the last 5 years, those prices have changed incredibly.
Yeah, we've spoken about that.
Yes.
Embarrassing how much the price has gone up.
It's gone up a lot. Some people may not realise that because back in the day they built for, X amount of dollars per square metre.
Oh, look, I did an extension on my house for $120,000. Equivalent now might be $250 to $300.
That's right.
That's the scary side of it. But if we don't know the depth or the size of the budget, the design may be out of alignment to that budget. With our budget, we risk preparing things that are financially unobtainable.
And who wants to do that?
Well, that's right. And it's not to judge. Let's be very clear here too. It's not about judging people.
No, we're not trying to charge you extra on something or anything like that. It's just being realistic of what's possible.
Don't know, can't help.
That's right.
So, yeah. So then, like, we can give, like I said, square meterage rates, approximates. But I also am a big believer in, say, you come to me, I want to do 4-bedroom house, be about 240 square metres, double garage, yep, sure, no worries. And we've got a budget of, $570,000 based on borrowings and selling our house, etc. Okay, cool. Then I think in my head, take 10% off that, and that's what we aim for.
Yes.
So you want to keep 10% up your sleeve, contingencies.
Just in case.
Because there's going to be stuff you don't know about.
And it's more for an extension.
Oh, very much so. Yeah, extension costs can go up by at least 50% because of double, triple handling, messing around, old stuff, fixing with new stuff. The old stuff's better than the new stuff, but the new stuff's still got to tie in, and the roofs don't always work, plaster doesn't work, floors don't always work. We just went to one last Wednesday. We pulled a wall out of this heritage property to open up the space, and they found the floor difference 65 millimetres between the floors.
Oh my goodness, that's huge.
And the builder goes,
that's
check
the whole
this out.
step.
Well, not quite.
Nearly.
No, it's only 65 mil. But it's a lot to fix.
Yes, that is a lot to
fix. But he said, no, I reckon we can adjust things and so they won't notice as much because it becomes a tripping hazard.
That's right.
But it was just from one room to another and like, oh, wow, that's awful.
Yes.
So I was there to check out a lot of other things there too, and he showed me where we went to this other room and I says, well, you've ripped the whole floor out, timber floor. And he goes, yeah. Once we got into it, we found out 2 of the bearers had dry rot in the end of it.
Oh, no.
Had to rip the whole lot out, fix it, recycle the original boards to go back on and stuff like that. And then we found there was a fire in it at some stage. And they didn't do the roof 100% right.
And sometimes you don't know this stuff until after you've already started construction.
You got to pull it apart.
That's right.
Now, on budgets for renovations, I say allow 20% of contingency because of these things. New homes, 10. Now, also, I think we've got to be very clear when you say budget, that's the build of the house.
Yes. Just the house?
Just the house.
Not the landscaping?
Well, no, definitely not. So let's put this in a little bit of context. If you live on a more rural site, if your maximum lend or borrowings or what you've got available is $575,000, let's just pick a number, and you're going to build a house and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to spend $550,000. Okay, hang it back a bit. But have they allowed, because on rural sites, or you're going to possibly need a wastewater or a septic, and we've spoken about it before, you could be spending anywhere between $30,000 to $40,000 on that. Mm-hmm. That's not part of your build.
Yes.
If you want to put a big deck off the side, that's not necessarily part of the build.
That's right.
You want to do a nice driveway leading up to the house. That's not necessarily part of the build. Fencing, landscaping, external retaining walls that are required to do your house, they'll be part of the build of your house. But the base cost of your house, everything outside of that is above that.
Yes.
And people get this mixed up. We had someone had a go at us because the price of the extension was way above what they thought it was going to be. And they had a bit of a dig. And again, they actually did not give us a budget. Mm-hmm. But he was spending close to another $15,000 to $20,000 because he had to upgrade all his septic trenches and all the plumbing.
But that's not something that you factor in.
We can't.
As a designer, you can't, no.
We can't, because that comes down to decision by the environmental health officer at the councils.
Yes.
Says, you need an upgrade, pal. This is no good. We can't control that.
No.
And should we have known? No, because we weren't asked to do a report on it. It was done via the council of known problems. So please be aware your design doesn't know everything. So then you need to look at this as a holistic view on your property. Even if you're in the burbs and you've got a standard building block, are you going to go harbs with fencing for your neighbours?
Yeah, that's something we have to factor in on our block.
Of course.
Mm.
What about your driveway? What about the additional drainage? Do you need extra concrete paths around? So you've got the base built, but then you've got to do all your external works.
Yes, even, any other infrastructure like sheds or anything like that.
It may sound funny, but people have this weird idea that sheds, and I've had it, where they think sheds should be part of the build cost. And I says, well, unless you explicitly say that, that's why you want to ask at the very start of the project, I want to build all this, I've got this amount of money. And you go, well, that shed alone is potentially going to cost you $20,000 or let's say $50,000. Oh, but they told me I could get a shed for $25,000. Says, yes, that's the shed. That's a kit. No one's put it up yet and you haven't put a slab under it.
That's right.
And you probably want power to it. And you've got to put a retaining wall around it because it's dug into the site.
Oh.
So, this is real. And all the shed manufacturers tell you $20,000 for a shed, but you can virtually double it, if not go, triple it because of the external sources of everything you need around it.
And that's not even factoring in, if you've got really steep site or certain types of clay and stuff like that.
Oh, all of that.
Bushfire is another one.
Oh, but I want to put a bathroom in it. Well, there's $20,000.
Yeah, exactly.
I still got people look at me funny. $20,000? That's on a really basic bathroom.
Yeah, that's true.
You do one in your house, you could be up to 30.
Yep.
Because no one likes just single white tiles all around. They want all these fancy.
Yeah.
So, again, for us to understand what your requirements are, we can't help you if we don't know.
That's
how
right.
much you're willing to spend. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Okay, so if you don't have a budget, if a customer comes in and they don't have a budget, they don't want to disclose any monetary value, how would that work with a designer or an architect? Do you do just like a time charge?
No, we'll still do a fixed price.
Okay.
For us, look, we like to do everything on a fixed price basis. That's why we ask, well, what's the scope?
Yes.
They go, I want a 3-bedroom. I'd like to have a media room. I want a 3-car garage, al fresco, but I want the kitchen to be able to lead out directly side onto it. I've got these views, etc., etc.
Yes.
Fine. And you're not happy to send the budget? We don't work on a percentage basis.
No. Some architects, I think, do.
Yeah, and that's their prerogative to do that. And that's fine, but we like to work out what it's going to take. We have fixed amount of meetings, but that's why we work really hard on the scope to understand this, and then we can work out, look, it's this. Sometimes we do a sketch, add it into the fee proposal. This is what you intended. So then we all agree what we're going to design. Now, on the flip side, someone might come to us, they've sketched us a plan, that's what I want. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
We'll draw what you want.
We'll draw that. Exactly.
We're just facilitating. You obviously do not want our advice on budget. Some people don't want advice on design. They just want it drawn up. They want someone to sort out the whole process. Happy to do that.
Yes. What about a quantity surveyor? Do we bring them in sometimes?
Well, in every project we give that offer. It's in our fee proposal, and there's notes in there saying, look, if you want to stay on a budget, whatever, we recommend to have a budget QS who will then figure out your budget costings and then pre-construction costings, and there's a fee involved in that.
Yes.
And then we can chop and change. We can do that.
What's
how few people take that up?
Yeah, okay. What's the difference though, really? Instead of just going to a builder and just getting them to do a quote and going to a quantity surveyor instead? Is there much of a difference?
There's two major factors. A quantity surveyor, and the gentleman we use, we charge, I think it's between $770 to $990 to have this done.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very detailed. And if you do one really early before planning, it's a real cost estimate. It's an estimate. So you're going to be within 30%.
Yeah.
They're going to allow for the slope. They're going to allow for a lot of things based on the sketches. And that gives you an idea. And before we go for planning, then you can make a decision. No, I'm happy with that, or I'm not happy with that amount. How do we curb the cost? I need to peg it back 100,000 or whatever. Fine. Then we can have a discussion. So a builder, they can do the budgeting as well, but I believe you need to pay them for it.
Oh,
if you're expecting a freebie, you're not going to get very good numbers.
No.
Because they're not being treated as a professional. And there's some builders don't, and we get frustrated because it's not what they do. They want to get out and build. They're happy to put a full quote together for you because they get all their subbies to price and it's done properly. But then it's too late at the end.
Yeah, true.
We're 150 grand over where we want to be. Well, where did you want to be? I want to be here. Well, you didn't tell us that. On the flip side, you did tell us this and the full budget has come, build cost has come at X, let's say $700,000, and they've told us your budget's $650. Well, then we can start looking at how do we address that. Yes. Oh, you've added a deck off the side. You need to remove that or reduce the size. Take this off, take that off, adjust that. Now, that has to be taken with a grain of salt too, depending how the builder has priced it, because fit out has a big bearing.
We've spoken about that. We have talked about that.
Let's not go down that track. But if we have given a budget, then we insist that you go down this quantity surveyor path and they will give you costings that you can view.
Mm-hmm.
And for the money you spend on it, I believe is good value, and I've done it myself for my own purpose, then you know if you're on track or not. And then you can make changes. Because once you go for building approval and you've dropped, by the time you've paid everyone, us, all the consultants, council fees, building surveyor fees, plumbing fees, you could be dropping anywhere between $15,000 to $25,000 depending on the type of project and how many reports you needed.
Yes.
Which sounds a lot because it is.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you risk it without knowing exactly how much it costs, unless you're intimately working with a builder, which we do at times, all the way through.
Yes.
That will help you with that. That's one builder. You're not getting multiple prices.
That's right.
You're getting the service from this builder. The quantity surveyor is a good option as well, and I really encourage people to do it. If not, then you're just taking the risk at the end of the job. But we don't know how to quantify it accurately. We do not have access to all the subcontractors, and most architects and designers don't. We don't have access to how much steel costs, timber costs, roof costs, windows costs. We don't have access to that.
Yes.
So then we're relying on the people that do.
That's right.
We have an idea, we ask. So hopefully that answers.
Yeah, that answers that question. What about, and this is probably a common scenario for when customers come to us, is they've looked on our website and they've looked at all of these really nice houses. Some of them, the build cost is probably quite high.
Yeah, square meterage rates could be up in the $4,500 to $5,500 because that's also the fit out.
That's right.
Because they're high quality fit outs.
And they come in and they have a budget for, say, half the amount of the house that they really like that's on our website. How do you go about addressing that with them and working with them so that you achieve their goals?
Just be truthful.
And you just try and pull in different elements that you can from those designs?
Possibly, yes. Look, there's one in particular on there, and it came in, I think it was about $1.4 million. And we get a lot of comments about that, understandably so.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's got top-end everything in it.
Yes.
And that's what the client wanted. And they had the means for that.
And that's fine.
And this is half the stuff you see online in magazines. You got to understand there a lot of thought goes into making these houses look and function really, really well. And you got to pay for it. So it's tough discussion sometimes, but my suggestion always pick 1 to 2 elements that is really, really important. And this comes down to the needs versus wants.
Yes.
What's your biggest want that you want in your house? You got your needs. You know how many bedrooms you need. You know how many bathrooms you need. Functional kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I want a walk-in pantry. Well, can you afford that?
Yes.
Because a walk-in pantry nowadays is like a second kitchen.
True.
you know, and that's what people want. Media rooms were a big thing for a long time. About 10 years ago, everyone had to have one.
That's right.
Not anymore.
No, I haven't seen many of those.
No.
Maybe a second lounge room kind of thing.
But they're more flexible spaces.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and I think flexible spaces off the living room are fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Because as your life changes, you know, as you live in the house, it's a whole other topic.
So what do you think, what are the, and we've discussed it already a little bit, but what are the main implications of not providing a budget to us? Like, what, is there anything that can go wrong?
Of course. Expectations go wrong.
Yes,
you know,
assumptions I think are made.
Because you think you know, but in our industry things move so fast, and it's a shame you miss out because you think you know, but you don't know.
Yes.
You know, and that's the saddest part of it. Nothing that disappoints me more is when a block gets sold because it doesn't, you know. I had one the other day. I've got a guy rang me up about a block of land and he bought it because I found out that they sold it, and we did exactly what they wanted. And what pushed it over the edge, this house, of the cost was the council restrictions on the block.
Yes.
And it cost a lot more because of those restrictions. And I told the new owner, these are the restrictions. Please be aware, this is expensive because of these restrictions. Oh, yep, happy, yeah, sure. Hopefully they listen.
Yeah.
You know, and that disappoints me.
Yeah, yeah. And there's nothing worse than seeing a customer's face be disappointed because they can't, you know, have what they want because they had these assumptions. But when they bought the block, they didn't know there were these restrictions on there. Yeah, yeah.
So, and that affects a lot of, like we've got one at the moment down Hobart, and it was actually Canberra Council, and they did this subdivision, and they got 350 square metre blocks. They're tiny. And I know some of you on the mainland in Sydney, Melbourne, that's not unusual, but here in Tassie, it is.
500-600s.
Oh, minimum.
Minimum, mostly, from what I've seen.
Yeah, but these were like really small. And this elderly couple, they downsizing, they just want a 2-bedroom with a garage, wife's in a walker. So we're making it to LHA silver properly, not like the NCC one. And then we find out there's a flood overlay over part of this, so we've got to lift it out of the ground. And the council planning department really shitted me on this. Then, because of the flood, which they had to report, no, I have no problem with that, you've got to protect it.
Yes.
So then we have to lift the house, no worries. And it's on a corner block, so we've got different setbacks, so we lose so much land. So we lift it up, and we still have to put 2 parking spots on this, right? So I've got a garage, we get that, so I've got to have it flat so I can get in the house. It makes sense, doesn't it? You want a level
for elderly people, yep.
Yep, and be able to get around the car to easily, all that too. But we didn't have enough room for the second, or we got enough room for the second parking spot, which is on the driveway, and it's a bit steep, and we've explained we don't have a choice. You've got the flood overlay, we've got to lift it. And then they've come back to us, no, we don't want to see parking in front of the building line. And I'm going, you pack of dumbasses. You got this car, we got nowhere else to put it, got all the restrictions, corner blocks, easements, flood overlays, and you've got these people in a walking frame. They've got to be able to get in easily. And their suggestion was, get rid of the garage so you can push the car all the way to the end, and then we can move the other car forward so then it stays behind the front of the building on the front of the house.
You're joking.
No. And that means they can't get into the house easily undercover.
That's really dumb.
And if we do undercover, we need a firewall on the boundary and all this. And I thought, and I had to bite my tongue here a bit, but they can't see the context of their decisions of allowing a subdivision, and this is costing these people heaps of money.
Yeah, yeah. For such a small house too, by the sound of it. Little 2-bedroom place. Yeah,
it was 120 square
that's
metres.
Small house.
120, might be 130. We had wider corridors and everything to get easier in and out.
Yeah.
But yeah, dumbass, stupid attitude.
Yeah.
Frustrates me.
I can imagine.
And every designer and architect that might be listening today, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. But that's what also affects the cost. And so I'm talking about council, there could be other requirements from regulatory authorities that costs you money.
Yes. And we can't always anticipate that.
Never.
Yeah.
You know? So it's very, very difficult. Yeah, and we do our best to, because I also understand how they're trying to use the house. understanding how they want a customer wants to use their house, but also understanding their budget. That goes hand in hand. If I don't understand the budget, well, I've just got to get on with it.
Exactly. So, take homes.
Yeah, this is an interesting one.
It is an interesting one.
Be honest with your budget and make sure your designer or architect is honest with you.
And if you don't want to disclose your budget,
and you've got a standard plan and you know what you want, go for it.
that's fine.
That's okay. I don't mind. But don't go crook at someone because your budget has been met or your expectations haven't been met because you've withheld some of that information.
Yes.
That's unfair.
Yes.
Now, if someone blatantly goes way over against your wishes, that's worse.
Yeah.
And I have heard people, designers, architects, go over people's budgets, not listening.
Off on a tangent.
Yep, off on a tangent and, costing people money. That's not right either.
No, that's right.
In my industry, in this industry that we're in, I'm afraid it does happen. And you've got every right to ask what you want, but also listen to their advice, but don't be taken advantage of by the budget being blown because they've come up with something that looks wonderful, but it's expensive to build.
Yes.
It's all being truthful with each other and being fair dinkum.
Exactly.
I'm always a big fan. Look, I've said this before, the best result you'll ever have is a designer or architect and a builder
Working together.
Work together for your client with a common goal, all being truthful, being aware of all the challenges of the site, and they meet their budget, meet their expectations, and hopefully get a few of their wishes. And they might get all their wishes. And being open to ideas to function, the function, the form of the house, and we should be able to meet that.
Yeah, exactly.
But be truthful of what you want.
Yes. What a good place to wrap up. Thanks for listening to the Building Design Primetime Podcast.
Catch us later.
You're listening to the Building Design Primetime Podcast.